All right, welcome back, everybody. Here we go. Playoffs, week 15. 8 teams are continuing on, 4 left behind. What happened after all the playoff scenarios last week? What are the 8-win teams looking at after last week? Who won? Who lost? Who knows? Here we go. All right, so I'm going to start with our standings. Just quickly run through it, talk about the bottom four, then I'll move on to our playoff bracket for the matchups, and then I'll move on to the individual matchups. So we're down to 4 matchups as 4 teams were eliminated. So let's do this. So finishing first place is Ty. Him and Tom are both 10-4, but Ty had the points for advantage. After everything that happened last week, the only team with 8 wins that won was Richard. So he jumped from 7th place before last week all the way up to 3rd. And then we have the 4 8-win teams. We got Dave, who finished in 4th by about 100 points over Dallas, who's about 80 points over Wayne, who was about 50 points over the Evil Buddies. So quite a variety of points for there. It's a total of about 230 point differential from 4th to 7th. So all those teams are coming in off a loss, so they have to win to keep going here. And then what happened with that 8th spot? Did I win? Did Rob win? Did Sunil get in? Did Jen win and people lose? And the scenario is, as you see on your screen, I won. I don't know what happened on Monday. Sunil switched out, some running backs weren't playing, and basically gave me a free win on a Monday night, so I can't complain there. I thought I was going to lose, but at least lose by less than the 20 points. So it was going to come down to Rob's matchup, and Rob was close. But Tom's defense got a pick 6 there off the start, so that was huge. So I got in 6 wins, 8 losses. It's not a terrible record for our playoffs. It's probably about we usually have just 1 or 2 teams under 500 to sneak in. So I know we allow 8 out of 12, which is more than most, but I kind of like it. It allows the buddies to get in, who was last year's champion. It allows myself to sneak in, but I got to play Ty, and that didn't go well for me last time. So like I said, I was hoping to beat him last time, so I didn't have to this time. So we'll see how it plays out. And then the bottom 4, so as we always do, our the bottom 4 determine our first 4 picks for next year's draft. So what we do is 9th place gets first, 10th gets second, 11th gets third, and 12th gets fourth. That allows for people not to tank, to try and get the first overall pick. Kind of keeps you pushing for the playoffs. You can get rewarded for that first pick overall. It allows you to not keep somebody and redraft them right away. Kind of gives you a little bit of advantage for strategy to start the draft. But if you don't like being on the end, like me, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So we'll see what Jen wants to do with her first overall pick next year, which currently then puts Rob into 2nd, Sunil into 3rd, and Jeremy has the 4th overall pick. As we always do, whoever finishes 5th through the playoffs then gets to pick their draft spot anywhere between 2 and 12. So that means that you can't take first overall away from the person who earned it, but you can pick anywhere else. You can pick 2nd if you want and try and get a better pick, or if you have a good first round keeper, maybe you want to pick towards the end of the first round, so it doesn't affect it too much. So yeah, and now on to our playoff schedule. So in our section here, so the first matchup, like I said, would be 1 versus 8, which is Ty versus myself. Another quarterfinal matchup is the 4th versus 5th game, so that's Dave versus Dallas. 3 versus 6 is Richard versus Wayne, and 2 versus 7 is Tom versus the Evil Buddies, Jay and Adam. So a couple fun matchups there. Wayne and Richard already started a little bit of trash talk on our group chat. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, so I'll go through all the matchups and tell you who I think is going to win. So as always, as I start with my own, I did sneak out a win last week with the least amount of points scored for a winner. So that's not a whole lot of confidence for me. Doesn't help when your quarterback puts up negative points. So if I would have got the 20, kind of a normal quarterback score, I would have been right up there, but that didn't work out for me. So just looking quickly, I see Ty picked up Stafford after Stroud was hurt. He's got Evans, Wilson. Most likely Jefferson is back this week. I was hoping maybe he would sit so he's ready to go for next week. But Vikings are holding on to a playoff spot, so they might want to get him in there. Williams from Denver is good. Gibbs is hit or miss. Maybe some Denver defense will help me out there against him and Laporta. Flowers and Njigba doing really well. Yeah, mine. I mean, right now, Ty is favored by 35 points. I have Lawrence, Deontay Johnson, Chase. Drake London had a big week last week. Maybe I can get more of that. Got Hunt and Singletary in right now. Hunt is a little banged up, so he may or may not start for me. And then, who do I got my flex here? Shakir, Ridley, and DJ Chark. I'm waiting to see if Zadarius White is going to start for the Raiders tonight. If I get word that he is, I'm going to slide him in there over somebody. Taking a shot. Spend $14 of my 15 in Fab left to get him, hoping for a win tonight. I got to win tonight to get into the next round, right? So might as well go for it. I also picked up Tank Dell. Maybe keep him as a late round pick next year or something. Have him and Chase to start with Stroud back. Him and Dell with their connection seems to be working really well. So hopefully that can carry on to next year, sophomore season. So I am not favored. I finished 8th place. Unless I get some big wins here, big weeks here, I don't think I can pull this off. So Ty finished first for a reason. He could have been last year's champ, depending on how that game would have finished. So he's a top player for sure. So I'm going to give this week to him, and we're going to move on. So, all right, Ty wins that one. Next one we got here is Tom versus the Evil Buddies. So it's 2nd versus 7th. Currently, right now, Jay and Adam are favored over Tom by about 16 points. Let's see. That's the reason why Jacobs is listed as questionable with 0 points. And now it says he's doubtful. So Tom will have to swap out Jacobs for somebody. That'll probably bring it within a couple points. So let's see. We got Wilson against Detroit. Devontae Smith has been struggling. Cleveland, Rondell White. Tampa's been really good. Henry, it's that time of year where he shines. Kelsey will do Kelsey things. A-Chain's questionable again. Man, that guy's had a rough year. Good game, bad game, good game. Away, off, hurt, back. So hopefully that guy can keep it going. He looks a pretty good player, so it'll be good for the Dolphins. Jordan Addison, we'll see if he takes a bump. If Jefferson's there. I mean, we all saw what happened last week with that 3-0 victory for the Vikings. So we'll see what Nick Mullins can do. Maybe it'll be good, maybe not. Who knows? I have no faith. But I'm going to give this one to Tom. I'm going to take the favorite, 10-4 over an 8-6 team. So it's pretty close standings-wise. I just really like Tom's team, Mahomes, Lamb. I mean, that Dallas connection's going is fire right now. If you can figure out what to do with Jacobs there and get somebody else in there, I think Tom will sneak this one out. Not by much, like maybe 5 points. I think it'll be a tight one again. So I'm going to take Tom. So far I got the 2 favorites for 1st and 2nd, Ty and Tom. Next is the 4th-5th matchup, which is Dave versus Dallas. Currently Dallas is favored by about 5 points on my screen, but Dave doesn't have a kicker in and currently doesn't have one on his bench. So I assume he's going to drop somebody here for a kicker. I don't know who he'll do, but So I had a kick in there, maybe 7 or 8 points. So again, it's pretty even heads up. They're both 8 and 6. Finished pretty close in the standings. If Allen and Diggs can get rolling, I think they're gonna have to put up a bunch of points against Dallas. Like that Prescott is just rolling right now. Prescott to Lamb, whew. But I mean, Dave has Pollard, I believe, right? I don't see him. Oh yeah, there he is. He does. He's in the flex spot. So we'll see how that works there. But I'm not going to call it a big upset because they're both 8 and 6 and right in the middle of our standings. But I'm going to take Dallas for the win. No reason. I just have a feeling with the Bills this week that's going to be a really high scoring game, and Allen and Diggs are going to put up each. Diggs probably 20 some points. Allen 30. That's just my feeling. They got to keep up, and that's the only way they're going to do it. So, Dallas with a victory. All right, and the last matchup. Whew, this goes quick when there's only 4 matchups. Last matchup we have is the 3rd versus 6th place. Currently, Wayne is favored by about 2 points. Richard's got 3 guys questionable, but it's only Thursday. Madison may or may not play because of concussions, but I think if I remember correctly, yeah, Richard has Ty Chandler he could throw in, or Deontay Johnson, or sorry, Dernest Johnson. All these guys with the D apostrophes. Yeah, I still think this one's going to go to Richard. I think Wayne's bubble's going to go here. Great season by Wayne, probably one of his better ones in a few years. I'm not saying it was a terrible seasons before, just overall team looked good. He was making a few more moves than he has in a couple years. I like to see that. So yeah, I'm going to take Richard. So I'm going to go back through it. So it looks like I took most of the favorites, other than Dallas. So I went Ty to beat me. I took Tom to beat Jay and Adam. Dallas to beat Dave. And then Richard to beat Wayne. Yeah, so that's what I think. A reminder, if you lose this week, you can still fight for that 5th place finish to try and pick your draft pick if that's something you're interested in. If you lose and you choose not to set your roster, no worries, I get it. We're all fighting for the trophy and the cash and everything else. So as a reminder, this is what we play for. The trophy, we got our first winners here, second set of winners here. Ooh, and now we have the last side to fill. So let's see what we can do, boys. See who gets the first one on the new side. There's a few of us who haven't won in a long time. So we all want to get there. So, all right, guys, good luck in the playoffs. And just remember to set your rosters. Take it easy. Bye.